the conversation on constructing an inscribed triangle, an equilateral triangle inside a circle. That's somewhat redundant. You should have a compass. I'm going to use a school compass for this one. Although, please, if you get a pro compass, that would be so amazing. Your life would be like easy peasy. Okay? I have a protractor just because safety blanket. Now, an inscribed equilateral triangle is an equilateral triangle inside a circle. That's what inscribed means, with all of its vertices touching the circle. And we're going to be using tools appropriately and strategically here. So in order to do that, here are 3 ways that you can construct an inscribed equilateral triangle using the circle given. For this one, I'm going to begin by, again, measuring the radius. So step 1, measure approximately 2 centimeters. No, it's full. Go exactly over the circle's edge, right? So then put a dot. Right there, put a dot. Mark the first point. So there it is. And label it. Label it A. There it is. Now, using the compass, we're going to duplicate the angle, which means I'm going to go ahead and put a mark over here, center the compass on A, same pencil hole, and I'm going to draw a little arc measurement right there, 1. And I'm going to do that again over here. I'm going to duplicate it twice, 2. And this is going to be labeled B. That's A to B, the first side of the equilateral triangle. So step 3, duplicate the radius twice. Label that point, point B. Okay? That's a B, not a 13. Get it connect. Now, do this again. So step 4, repeat step 3. But from point B. Label new point as point C. So from point B, I'm going to center the compass on B, and I'm going to move the compass around so that I can make a little arc on the circle. Got to be accurate. Again, I have the pages ripped out of the book just so that I can use the school compass. The school compass does not want to work on the book, like with the book being all curved edges. And there it is. There you have it. Step 5, connect the points. Connect A, B, C. So A to B, B to C, and then C back to A. Equilateral triangle. Let's go to part 2, part B. Okay, in part B, this one's going to be a different construction. The setup is going to look fairly similar. We still have to capture the radius, all right? So step 1, capture the radius. Let me slide this down and over. There we go. Capture the radius with the compass. Okay, and then mark the edge of the circle. Call the edge of the circle A. And mark point A. Okay, now we're going to step 2. Step 2 is similar in idea. Okay, I need to kind of check for a second. I'm going to create an equilateral triangle from P to A. Create an equilateral triangle from or on PA. So that's what we did where we just created a triangle from the previous page, from page 241, I mean. So here's the first line segment. If I do this, crossing right here, this looks very similar to the start of the other section, but label this as Q. Okay, so there it is. I have a triangle here. In fact, I'm going to make it a light triangle. I don't want it to really be visible. This is not the answer. This is the setup to the answer. Okay, and now bisect angle A. 3, bisect angle A. That's the third step. So if I bisect this angle, I'm going to be somewhere out over here. So remember what we have to do for bisecting. To do the bisecting process, we need to create an arc that goes through both of these angles. So if I put the center of the compass on A and I create an arc, I haven't changed my compass at all. I've got this arc right here. Now I need to move the compass over to where that arc was created. So I'm going to put an arc on this side. I'm going to do a mark, and then I'll come over here, and I'm going to do another mark. This is where this is angle bisecting. This is a practice of angle bisecting. Left hand, right hand switch. Okay, I'm going to draw this line. Draw that line out right there. Where the angle bisector crosses the circle, and mark the intersection. My face up here for this. Mark the intersection with the circle as point B. That's this spot right there. So an angle bisector, right? An angle bisector creates a cut in the 60-degree angle, sends it out on a 30-degree trajectory, and it'll cross the circle over here so that this edge this chord is one of the faces of the circle. Step 4, repeat steps 2 and 3 on the other side, which means down, right? I need to go to the opposite direction. So I'm going to create an equilateral triangle down here. So flip the compass back around, put a mark so that we're flipping this around right there. And then this is going to be labeled as, I don't know, R. And then a little dashed light line right here. We're going to create an angle A through R. And then the goal is to bisect this angle. So 2 angle bisectors. We're bisecting a 60-degree angle and then bisecting another 60-degree angle, and then what's left will be a 30-degree angle. But the way that I created this is so easy. We're going to go like this with it. And we're going to come over here, and we're going to finish out the angle bisector. Go watch that angle bisector video if you weren't sure. They cross right here, so we're going to draw the angle bisector line. Turns out point C, label point C. And then this line right here is one edge of the equilateral triangle. This line is another edge of the equilateral triangle. So all that we have to do, step 5, is connect BC to get the triangle. And I'll highlight it in because I want to make sure it's visible. Highlight it in. Alrighty, there it is. Connect BC to get the triangle. Boom, done. We do have one more page. Let's keep going. Page 243, because I want to make sure they have a chance to finish it. So in page 243, we are going to construct a third, this is the other way to do it. Okay, this is one other way. There's probably the way that's easiest. It's A. But there's a way to do this that's easiest, and here we go. I'm going to start by drawing a diameter. Diameter. And where the diameter crosses at one spot, I'm going to mark it as angle A. Okay, so step 1, draw diameter through point A. All right. And also label this other side as point C. If we determine the midpoint, QC, if we determine this midpoint, so we can use, if you've been saving your patty paper along the way, you can use perpendicular bisectors to determine the midpoint. And so that's what I'm going to recommend that we do, all right? Perpendicular bisectors, there was another paper that I used that was easier. It was this like folded in half thing. If we can determine the midpoint of QC, so that's the middle of this radius. Label it as M. All right, so let's see. I know I've got like a 90-degree right here. If I go like so, I want to find like the easiest way to do this. And I think I might just need to like label a fresh piece of patty paper. So bring in a fresh one. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to label QC with the line. Then I'm going to take that, I'm going to fold that in half. This is the find the midpoint method by folding that patty paper exactly in half. Make sure the points line up. That line up, that line up. And then open it back up. The crease is exactly in the middle. In fact, it's on the middle in a 90-degree direction. So if I mark the crease and I go back to, I flipped it over, by the way. You see that? I flipped it over. And then I go back to this and I mark it from the other side. So it's twice marked. This is the middle. This is M. Not only that, but I want to create the perpendicular bisector. So create perpendicular bisector of QC. I don't even need step 2. This is the real step 2. Okay? Create the perpendicular bisector of QC. So the crease on the tracing paper is the perpendicular bisector. It's going to hit there. It's going to hit there. So I've marked it. When I flip the paper specifically around, line everything all back up, this is where the crease hits. This is where the crease hits. So this is the markings that are going to be B and C. Step 3, the real one. I crossed out step 2 and I rewrote it. Create a perpendicular bisector. Mark the points where the perpendicular bisector crosses circle Q as B and C. Step 4, connect ABC. That's the 4 steps. I'll zoom out so you can see it all at once. Let me go ahead and finish it out. Maybe you like freeze the YouTube video and you write them down from there. But that does it. That creates an equilateral triangle. And I'll be honest, I hadn't even thought of this as a construction until right now in the moment of this video. You are catching me learn something for the first time in front of you all, because it seems a little bit sus that we could create an equilateral triangle that easy by using midpoints, but it works. It totally does work. Okay, thank you for watching this video. We are nearly done with this entire lesson 3 constructions material, which is not something to be proud of because 1, proud you got through it, but 2, because it's over and like you need to know this stuff for upcoming tests and the fact that this is the defining moment of geometry. So feel free to go back and watch any of what we've done so far. Stick around for the next video. It's page 244, the last video of this section, and then we'll wrap it up and you'll finish out the entire page that you need to do for your notes and for your material. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.